Hey, I'm Rob from Natilik, and I'm joined here by Greg. We're at the Digital Transformation Expo. Just here to talk a little bit about IoT and what Cisco are doing around that.
Yeah, that's right. So Cisco's got a little bit of a history in IoT, but basically what we've done is we've taken Cisco enterprise products and we've changed the form factor. We've made it work, made the networking products work in more harsh environments, and there's also specific industry certifications that have been done. So it's pretty much taken the form factor, and made them a bit more ruggedized, so that they work in use cases in the IoT world.
Like
so
manufacturing
for example,
and things like that?
manufacturing is a great example. Oil and gas, energy, wind farm technologies, utilities is very big businesses right now that Cisco's deeply involved in IoT. And there's lots of things that are out there these days that are suddenly getting IP addresses, and they need to go out onto the network, and they could be in what we call a non-carpeted space. Could be in a warehouse, could be in a distribution center, could just be at the side of the road or at a traffic intersection. There's lots of things that are connected these days. So those things are also producing a lot of data. So that's another thing that Cisco's doing, is not only on the networking side on IoT, but we're also adding in data control elements to process that data close at the edge. So some of the networking equipment has edge processing capabilities so that you can run like Docker containers of software to help reduce that amount of data that's going up to the business applications. It could be in the cloud, for example. So that data control is another element that Cisco is investing in and involved in.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So things like, I guess, connected cars and things like that must also be pretty...
So connected cars is a really interesting use case, right?
Yeah.
So Cisco's quite involved. Actually, there's millions of cars that are going around today on the road that are connected. Most new cars are, and that connectivity is going over a cellular network, and Cisco has tools to help manage that cellular connectivity. It's called Control Center, and there's lots of features that are involved in that, but basically the really important part of that is not only having the control of that cellular connectivity, making sure that the customers in the cars are getting a good service when they're doing their connected services, but it's also to protect them from cybersecurity attacks. And that's where security kind of comes into play, which is kind of the third piece that Cisco's doing in IoT a lot right now is really security. There's a lot of customers that are saying that what's keeping them from doing IoT projects actually is that they're afraid of being attacked.
You're paranoid, right?
They're a bit paranoid, really, and they don't want to open themselves up to it, because a lot of these things will be connecting to their enterprise networks, and they aren't very sophisticated, a lot of these things. It could be an attack vector. So Cisco's invested in technologies recently, actually.
And these new features that have been rolled out in things like Umbrella, I guess?
So Umbrella is really looking at the DNS side of things, where the security stuff that we're doing on IoT in particular is bringing together some of the enterprise products like Identity Services Engine and StealthWatch, but giving them more of an OT context, because those are IT systems. They understand, oh, that's a laptop on that IP address, that's a server, that's a printer, that's an IP phone, but it won't necessarily know that that's a Siemens controller connected to a CNC machine, right? Should that CNC controller be allowed to talk to something in China? Well, probably not, right? So, but how would it discover that? The only thing that Identity Services Engine would see is just an IP address. But with some of the the IoT tools that we have in the OT space, it's giving context back. So we integrate into ISE. We give that context back so they see that, oh, that IP address, yeah, that's a Siemens controller, it's this firmware. By the way, it should have this policy attached to it, so that it's not allowed to talk outside of its manufacturing cell.
Yeah, super interesting. So when would you say, are these features available now?
Yes, they're available now. Yes, the integration with ICE, or Identity Services Engine, and StealthWatch is available today. There was a recent acquisition that Cisco did of a company called Centrio, and those products are just now kind of, I would say, they aren't ready yet. It is ready as an appliance, but what we want to do is to take that security product and be able to do deep packet inspection at the edge of the traffic that's going by, and be able again to apply those security packages from ICE, but at a much more edge device.
Make it a more intelligent, right?
Make it a bit more intelligent, exactly.
That's cool.
And that's coming out in later this year, in kind of the early new year.
Cool.
be
Awesome.
available. So
All right.
that's quite exciting for
Yeah,
us.
that's really cool.
So in the
nice.
IoT space, just to kind of summarize, Cisco's involved in networking, in the data control, and in the security piece.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Thanks for your time, Greg. Appreciate
Very
it.
good. Thanks,